Welcome to the Instagram stories for Tuesday, June 20th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. The biggest news of the day has to do with Meta showcasing a new AI speech-to-text translation tool. This doesn't sound very exciting, but trust me, you're going to want to know more. The announcement from Meta is that they've introduced VoiceBox, a new breakthrough generative speech system based on flow matching, a new method proposed by Meta AI. It can synthesize speech across 6 languages, perform noise removal, edit content, transfer audio style, and more. Now there's a clip explaining in a little bit more detail how this all works and what makes it special, and the clip is recorded by the CEO of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg. So let's give him the floor.
This is VoiceBox, a new AI foundation model for speech that does some pretty awesome things. If you give it text, it can read it in a bunch of different styles.
Penelope Porcupine and Sammy Sloth danced gracefully in the treetops.
Penelope Porcupine and Sammy Sloth danced gracefully in the treetops.
And you can use it to fix background noise too, kind of like an eraser, but for audio. Sammy and Penelope's heartwarming friendship inspires joy. Sammy and Penelope's heartwarming friendship inspires joy. We think this is probably the most versatile speech generative model out there. This is still a research project, but I think that we're going to be able to build a lot of interesting things with tools like this.
Some of the features that he described don't really come across in the audio version of that, but in the video it makes a little bit more sense. One of the things that he specifically talked about though, editing out certain words or sounds, is something that Descript, which is an app I've been using for a little bit when I edit my longer form podcast, has had for a while. So it's nice to see Meta incorporating some of these features in their offering. It's not a voice matching tool though. That's something I'm very interested in. When at some point in the future, something can look at all of the audio that I've recorded, take my voice, and then allow me to type up a script for this episode and spit out a recording that sounds just like me based on what I typed in. That is something I hope is very close. I've experimented with some tools. They haven't come across that well, but I think I could probably improve the data that I put into the system. I'm going to work on that a little bit more. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to talk about a recent project that I worked on. So stick around.
This episode is brought to you by Michigan Economic Development Corporation. In Michigan, you can have both a rewarding career and a quality lifestyle, with plentiful career opportunities in world-changing, innovating industries, from electric vehicles to clean energy to biotech, with room for advancement no matter where you are in your career. Plus, Michigan offers a welcoming, beautiful, affordable, and inclusive community for all. Live your best life. You can in Michigan. Visit themichiganlife.org.
And we're back. I wanted to talk about a recent project that I worked on to solve a number of problems. Every year, my wife and I want to have an event where we have as many people over as possible to our house and have some form of a giant dance party. However, the problem with that is, number one, we have neighbors, and number two, I do not like any of the same music that my friends do. Some of their music sounds like nails on a chalkboard to me, and I'm sure that they do not enjoy my music either. It's just how it goes. Also, some people in that scenario would want to have conversations with each other. They might not want to hear blasting music all night because they'd actually like to connect with people and have a conversation, which I totally respect. So, to solve all of those problems, we started renting headsets from a company called Quiet Events. If you're not familiar, you rent headsets that work on FM, and you can have multiple DJs play music, and you can change the channel in the headset so you can hear the red one, the blue one, or the green DJ at any given time. If the DJ who you have been listening to suddenly switches to a song you don't like, that's okay. You have 2 other options. And if you don't really want to listen to music and you'd rather have a conversation, you could just take your headphones off and have that conversation. We did this for the 3rd time. The first time did not really work out too well because I asked people to bring their own FM radios and I tried to do it myself. The second 2 times, I've rented the equipment from the company Quiet Events, and it's been an excellent experience. If this is something that sounds interesting to you, check out the website, quietevents.com. I interviewed the CEO, Will, on my podcast a couple years ago. Super nice guy, and I absolutely recommend this as a really creative way to solve a lot of problems with parties. There are other problems at parties too. For instance, I noticed that none of my friends know each other's names. They just go, "Hey, it's good to see you." And then I spend the rest of the year describing my friends to each other in terrible terms. He's kind of tall, his hair is sort of short and spiky. It's not really good. So this year I made all my friends wear the "Hello, my name is" name tags, and I have noticed they made much better connections because they all know each other's names and they didn't have to ask me at any point in time. There are other problems I solved as well. I can get into that. You know what? I'm going to do one more. One problem that I notice is that when I have an event, everyone takes pictures and then I never see those pictures. I discovered an app from a company called Confetti. And here's how this works. They send prompts throughout the night of the event for people to text pictures in, and then those pictures go on a private feed that only people at the event can see. This is an awesome concept. So they start off with a few prompts like, send us a picture of your outfit, send us a picture of your date, and then when you get to the event, send a picture of the people who you haven't seen in a long time, and all kinds of different prompts that you get throughout the night. I love this for so many reasons. Number one, there's a feed where I can see all the pictures and I don't have to ask people to text me their pictures, and maybe they do and maybe they don't. That's number one. And number two, I have friends who invariably will bail on the event at the last minute. They got sick, they can't make it, they double booked, whatever. I take this very personally. I don't even want to get into that. That's a whole other conversation. But what this does is text them all night with all the pictures that they're missing, which I absolutely love. Did I mention that I'm really trying to solve a lot of problems here? This is just how my mind works. This is what I do for entertainment. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to come back tomorrow for more social media news or technology news or strategy or other things I think are important that you should know.
Instagram news got you covered, sometimes even TikTok. Relevant platforms in the metaverse ahead of the wave without a break or a pit stop. Still waiting for Zuckerberg to give me the big job. Pause. Use trademarks and logos with Insta's permission, of course. If you like the show and you gain some good info, maybe leave a review. It's a type of applause. Just drop me a message if you want to collab. If you got some good content or you want to run ads, at Daniel Hill Media is where I am. TikTok, Facebook and Instagram.